one waiting.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, we're live.
Hey!
No, we're not.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
give it a
we're
second.
not.
I'm on the radio.
Refreshing.
The radio. The radio.
Nobody.
Oh, there we
Hello.
go.
We're live at 5.
Oh, jeez.
Are you guys able to see it now?
I can see it now. Yeah,
Nice.
we did it. It took 21 minutes.
Hey,
We did.
That's behind the magic. It took no time. We're here.
It's 8 p.m. everybody.
It's just a
Set your
21-minute
clocks.
delay on the stream. You know, it's
No, it's 8 o'clock. We're right on time.
Standard.
Right on time.
So there might be people coming in. So
It could
in the
be.
meantime, fucking Mario Odyssey though. Like what? How did they do it? How did they make such a good game? I don't even understand.
Right?
Like I just can't stop looking for moons.
the
I like
game in the Switch.
How did they do it?
How do we do it?
It's a kind of good that I never thought I would enjoy a Mario game so much again as I did when I was a kid, but I did with Odyssey.
Yeah.
It was really good. All the same, I never really played Mario much as a wee babe.
I can only play Mario on my Game Boy Advance SP. That's the only way I can play Mario.
Nice.
I lost that.
Ooh.
I lost
I
that.
didn't really have any Mario. Well, I had Super Mario Bros. Like 1 or something for the no, an early one anyway for the NES. But I didn't
Everybody
really,
had that.
That's
I didn't really
fun,
play
isn't
that
it?
much. I wasn't good at it. I don't know. It might have been 3. Other than that, my first one was like fucking Galaxy.
Really?
You went
Yeah.
straight to Mario Galaxy?
But I didn't go straight to it. I lived a life of depravity.
Well, it was the same with Zelda too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't touch Zelda until I was graduated high school, and then I just did like 90% of them in the course of a couple months.
That mind blows my brain.
I've finally played every Zelda game.
I haven't played much Zelda.
What's with human like you?
Why? The early
I've been
stuff is
playing,
honestly better.
I've never gotten like halfway through a game. I played on my DS. That's about it.
I haven't played Wind Waker, and I feel like that's one I'm missing out on.
Wind Waker is
Oh,
that's the best one.
It's great.
If only for like dicking around on a boat.
The Wii U one too. I know you have it there. It's great.
You can speed up. Ocean's big. Takes a long time.
What's the thing?
Shit. It's so cool. I want to play it again. I still like. I have never replayed Wind Waker since playing the remake. But like, every so often, every couple of years, I'll go back and just like dick around, accomplish nothing, just be on the ocean.
Yep.
It's shit.
Okay. Is it time to talk about the real stuff?
I suppose there's.
We can just keep talking about. We can keep rambling, talking about nothing.
There's nothing realer than Zelda.
There's nobody in the stream. There's no people.
Ashland's
Just the
in the
last
chat.
few times we had a couple people. Ashland's in the chat.
Ashland?
You want an aha moment? I had an aha moment of Eureka recently. These, and hold on, and hold on, and
Hold on. Let him finish.
these little
What?
guys,
I don't.
Oh,
what
the banjo fingers.
the banjo finger picks. These are garbage. These are the weirdest things.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna like them.
They're so off. Did you ever see a video of a dog, like with those little boots on? The dog with boots, and they just like they don't know what to do. That's my fingers with these things on them.
That's definitely an aha moment.
It was so the Eureka is don't ever use these again.
Well, Ryan, you're not playing a banjo, you goon. Pick up a banjo.
Well, I have a banjo right here. If you
Fuck you.
I've heard this. I've seen these banjos.
it sucks because the banjo does sound best. I know that one that everyone knows, the dueling banjos. I learned a couple of random like country songs that I just knew on the guitar.
Can you
um,
go? Can you play
Yeah,
that one?
that's Dueling Banjos, the one I just said that you don't know. You
That's
I
an
didn't
aha
know.
moment for you, Nathan. You know what dueling banjos is now.
Where's the
Aha!
little light bulb?
That movie
Yeah,
Deliverance
Connor,
is
your
fucked up.
camera's pointed like down.
Yeah, I'm looking at Pony Boy.
Hey, nice.
this
Good
thumb
boys.
pick, it is kind of useful though. Like I've been getting used to sort of hybrid picking with it, like holding it like a normal pick, like for heavy heart periphery. It's not supposed to be finger picked, so you can't go into the next riff without a delay to get your pick. You know.
Right.
So I'll just hybrid pick that riff with this instead, and then I can keep using this thumb pick to go through that next arpeggio.
Can you just like can you not like hold your pick in your hand like a weird way like with these fingers? Can you do that?
I mean, I could just hybrid pick like normal too, I suppose, but doing it like this gives the option to kind of hold on or off, you know.
Oh, that's kind of
Got a
interesting.
hybrid pick. I got you. I got you. Is anyone here yet besides Ashlyn? Hi, Ashlyn.
Hi, Ashlyn. No, I don't think we posted anything at the appropriate times. I don't think
Yeah,
I get lost.
that's the issue. Yeah, yeah.
We'll have a VOD up later, I guess.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
have a
man,
VOD.
I love a VOD.
So let's do a little album update. Let's do a little album
Yeah,
update.
yeah, let's do that.
Sure.
So, like,
Yeah.
like a year ago, we were supposed to start recording.
We
Do
don't
you
need the
remember we were?
whole update. We were almost done drums. Hooray! Progress. COVID. Fucks.
COVID strikes back.
Done. Here we are.
Man,
We're
On the stream
almost
on
done.
stream again.
We have every drums like track laid down, but we just gotta fix it and tweak it now. So
Yeah, we got the first draft of drums done.
yeah.
I wouldn't
So
even
that's
call it that. We got a couple little spots we gotta fix, and
Yeah, yeah.
pretty
yeah,
much every
it's
song has a couple little
a
spots.
first draft that we're mostly gonna use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we all agree here. Like, it's not just that we want to have this album done just so it's done, and not just so we can like move on and write new stuff, because I know we all really want to write new stuff. But like, I'm sick of at this point of people being like, "Oh, you're in a band. You got anything like we can listen to?" And all I have is this EP that's like 5 years old, and the vocals are really rushed, and it's just not the best, and not even a good representation of what we make anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that EP really do be 5 years old this year.
It's what's even crazier is some of the songs on this one are like 2017, 2018 songs.
True. And I really,
Which is-
I at least at the very least, I think we've got the pieces in place here to turn around the next one a lot faster.
Yeah.
Well, it does. It helps that we've gotten ahead of ourselves a bit on the next one. Yeah, there's a few ideas already. That's good.
Getting ahead of
It is
ourselves.
going to be weird though, because admittedly we've always like had stuff in the bank from prior. You know, this is the first full one that's going to be written, I guess.
Yeah,
Now we got stuff in the bank.
yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, but it's like I'm talking about stuff before. Like Connor Ryan's song is like predates the thought of me being in Dendron.
That's true, I guess.
You know, that's from a random era. I feel like
That's true.
didn't I hear? I feel like there's part of the Dirty song that was written like a long time ago, like BTCS days.
What part is that?
Thinking. There's the diddling riff in Equilibrium. I remember writing when I was there was a version of it that came out of a Bandana Jam, and then I nabbed it and then repurposed it for Dendron.
I remember that. I remember being like,
there's
Connor, no, you
also-
can't do that. You can't. We need it.
The seed for 3% was also came like immediately after finishing the last EP, and then I had it put away for a long time.
You mean
Yeah.
bum, 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 bum,
But I
bum.
feel like everything that's gonna be put on Dendron 3 will be birthed specifically for Dendron 3, opposed to like here's Rip.
Yeah, I think that's
I hear
right.
what you're saying.
Like we might bust out the odd old riff or something, but I think they're at least the dank nugs that start these songs will all be fresh, crispy nugs.
I don't know if I have anything really good. I'd have to at least like revamp some old riffs. There's nothing on. I have a file full of old riffs, and there's nothing on there that really screams at me anymore.
Some of my stuff from the past year. Well, I guess that's just the getting ahead of ourselves stuff. But in the past year, there's been a nice little bank, I think.
Have it all. Write it down.
I like these riffs.
Good riffs.
That's true.
Nathan's
So
So, you guys want to get to the meat of it?
The
yeah,
potatoes.
I'll say my thing. Let's keep this short. Let's aim to have this like wrapped up by 9ish. What do y'all think?
I have no idea.
Yeah, sure.
don't think
Okay.
that'll be difficult.
Let's go. Let's see if we make it till then.
That's the yeah. There we go. So we were gonna talk about like the moments as musicians.
We're all magicians.
We're all magicians.
And
Where
you
we
think
really
it's a
find
lot
a new
easier
trick.
to have aha moments as a magician.
Ah, that's true. Yeah, we were gonna talk about times where we realized some great truth, and then we got a lot better because of it. Like that one, So I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna do a little rambly here, and I was gonna start by talking about singing, but I'm just gonna do my little vocal ramble. I mean my lyric writing ramble. So I find that most people when they go, oh yeah, gotta write lyrics. What are good lyrics? Everybody always thinks, what do the lyrics mean? Like what are they saying? And nobody really thinks, at least at first, how do the words sound? And that's just like in my opinion, that's even more important than what the lyrics actually mean. And the reason for that is because most lyrics are like kind of just fine. Nobody like really cares unless you make hot trash lyrics that you can't even get over because as soon as you hear it you're like, oh my Jesus. Or really 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 good lyrics which only come along every once in a while. But if your song just sounds bad because the words didn't flow very well, like there's not much you can do about that. That's going to turn off like most people anyway. So I think the way the words sound is like super important, and the things that people don't really realize is one, your vowel sounds. They kind of like dictate the main tone of your part, right? You can hit the same note and have wildly different tone. He, hi, ho, right? Very, very different. And the way that the vowel sounds progress through the part matters a lot. And I'll give you a little example in a bit too. Obviously, your consonant sounds also matter, but that's more, in my opinion, that's more for like the flow of the part, because you can't let your some words just won't flow into each other. And if you want your part to flow, it's not going to work if you got like a big chunks of sound here. You're going to have to take a little break between the words, and that always comes out. So like you can kind of get away with it at times, but a lot of times it's going to end up sounding awkward. And the big one that I find that like nobody ever talks about is where your emphasized parts land. Because if you have an emphasized note and you let that fall on a weird part in the word, I find that that's like the chunk of the song that nobody actually knows what the guy is saying until you go look it up. And then when you look it up, you're like, that's what he's saying here. And then you got to try to finagle and say it the way that he does, because he let the emphases land in weird spots. So yeah, those are the main little bits that I've realized over the years that you really got to be careful for. And that's why I make all of my Sounds first. I figure out how I want my part to sound first, not just the melody, but like just a stream of nonsense, and then I put words to it.
That's
So I'll
cool.
go like, and that becomes beaten by the wind and rain till it's twisted, and so on and so forth.
See,
Which sounds like it's hard.
I feel like I wouldn't be able to do that. That feels like an extra step. Now
It's
I'm
so
better
hard.
at that stuff anyway, but I feel like it's because, and I imagine it is extremely limiting and kind of makes it a bit harder when you're trying to actually finally write the words. Like if you have a topic in mind, I guess.
It is. It makes it a lot harder. It's like you got to be willing to make it harder on yourself to make sure your song sounds good. Like that's my whole thing. It's like I'll spend a few weeks trying to figure out how to say something so that it fits here, just to make sure that it sounds good.
Have you ever had to learn? Have you ever had to expand your vocabulary to finish writing a song?
I know this. I know this
Stuff
already.
and you're like, this is what I mean. This is what the line is. I need to now scour the globe for a word that is a synonym or fucking whatever it is
Ryan,
fit the musical flow.
you gotta scour the thesaurus. The thesaurus.
That's what you do. You scour the thesaurus. Sometimes you just gotta click on links on thesaurus.com until something like inspires something. Oh, just before I end, you know that like in that part? Imagine if you go instead ooh ooh ooh.
That's just
I do is change the vowel sounds, and now it sounds so stupid. Like
That was just for us.
that's how big vowel sounds play in this whole thing.
Yeah, the second one was awful.
It's true. Ooh 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 doesn't work.
Ooh woo. Ooh woo always works.
Okay, that's my little spiel. That's my little spiel.
Okay, so this is I don't know. This is weird. As
Well, go ahead, Ron.
topic to kind of figure out what you want to say. But I think the biggest one, the most important one over the years for me, has been realizing the physicality of the guitar. So, yeah, being big strong boy. Yeah, there you go, big strong boy. So, and this ironically did happen. I had this epiphany after having gone to the gym for a while and stuff, and realizing what your body can do, like pushing past limitations and stuff. There were always things I would try to play on guitar, and it would come down to it sometimes that it's like this is simply too hard and I can't do it. Like, and it's not like I gave up per se. Like I gave it a good solid go. Like there's some shitty music out there. But at some point I realized like no. There's nothing you can't play really. So of course another aha moment would be the metronome, the riff chamber, which brings me to the point that I'm right. There is nothing I can't play. I just have to fucking do it. Of course, the system expedites it, which is excellent. But yeah, like what's an excellent example? Of course, there's fast stuff like you sweep cleaner, faster, whatever. Play bigger chords, gain dexterity. The tapping was a big one because that's one of the bigger hurdles, I suppose, in my guitar playing progression, and one of the most important things I've learned to do. That and the Tim Henson Tosin Abasi double thump garbage. Like this past year, I was able to really make waves in both of those techniques by just kind of like hunkering down and doing it, like really focusing on it and having this different mindset, which I suppose the mindset itself is the eureka moment.
Yeah. So you didn't mean even like how to play faster, like you're trying to play faster stuff. You mean like techniques.
It's play anything, play better, play like I don't know, do more right hand stuff, more left hand stuff. Just you have to think about, because I do think about when I'm playing stuff like, oh, I haven't played a tapping part this hard and that is the limitation. But it's like no, your body can just do things. It's not about like what you've played or not. You can definitely train yourself to do whatever. Obviously, some things are harder because I can't play drums at all, which would, you'd think this does flow into the same epiphany, right? I can take it outside of guitar. It's just moving my hands and my feet around. Can't do it. But you never know.
I like it. I love the mindset.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
It's super interesting though, because I feel like I had like a very similar epiphany over the past year, but I didn't find it by way of going to the gym, because what's a gym? I found it by the main thing for me. I think my in was probably all the rhythm games I've been playing the last year. Which, if anyone watching or listening plays rhythm games, send me a message. I am desperately looking for people to play rhythm games with. All my friends are sick of me talking about them. Please, please, let me know. But it was similar, and I was chatting with my roommate, our buddy Marcus, the other day about it. And it's like it seems like it came to me with rhythm games. It did work for me a bit with drums. I've been fucking around with drums a bit more recently, and in guitar as well, where it seems like all these different activities have that common quality in this way, where it's like to do anything with it, at least the most effective way is that you just do the thing slow and learn to do it so that you're relaxed and not tense, and then you speed it up and then make sure you continue the technique without getting tense, and then you could do anything. And it's really kind of bananas. I feel, especially with the guitar, I feel too powerful now. When you start like metronoming stuff and drilling it with guitar, it's like you could learn a lot of stuff that way pretty quickly.
Now, do you find that you're actually, after being in the riff chamber a few times, that you're actually able to kind of skip the whole process sometimes, like where you kind of entered a new domain of sorts?
Yeah,
like
I think it's because it's like the first few times you're doing it, you get better at reading your progress. You can sort of get to the point of saying, okay, I'm ready to move on with this. Than before, you'd maybe over drill it to make sure that you have it down.
Yeah.
That's
I
really
find the tail end of me trying to learn a riff is always a lot faster. Like cleaning it up at the end, getting those last 20 BPM or whatever, is always the quickest part.
Rhythm games were really key. The thing that they offered, I think, that was a little different is that, especially a game that has really precise timing and granular feedback. So, like the game I played a fuckload of was called DJ Max Respect. You've all heard me talk about it too much. It'll give you like every note. It'll give you a score in increments of 10%. So it'll be like 100% for perfect, then 90, 80, 70, 60. And it's pretty precise on the window of it. So then it's sort of like active feedback for your timing as you're going. And I think that's sort of fed back into playing other instruments and like trying to, especially while we're recording now, playing to a click and getting your ear sort of precise for it. But it's like an additional step, because it's nice to be able to record and hear yourself played back, but then to get this really precise feedback on it is I found very useful. Yeah,
it's interesting what you're saying there, because I've been learning a little piano lately, and I was playing the other night, and I found that I could not slow it down. If I slowed it down, it's like my brain forgot the next things I was supposed to hit somehow.
That's all part of it. I'd argue that if you can't do it slowly, then you don't truly have it internalized. But
you just ruined my day.
You do it slowly like that, and it's hard and it sucks. But then when you take that, then you're unstoppable.
That's something I've learned. I'm sure like Ryan learned it, so Connor learned it. Like that's something I've known for years. If you can't play something really, really slow, then it don't work.
Well, that's the whole point of the beginning part of the riff chamber. You play it at like 50% speed or less, 20 times.
What is the riff chamber?
Tell us. Explain.
I've explained the riff chamber before, but I'll gladly do it again and again. So, the riff chamber take, of course, on the hyperbolic time chamber from Dragon Ball. Excellent. And it's just a way to get good fast. So you start out, take a really difficult song you're having trouble with, cut that down, let's say, by half the BPM. Start there. I specifically do this in Guitar Pro. I will cut out the riff, make a new tab, and just let it repeat itself 20 times. Oh, was disappearing. It disappeared. We've lost them to the riff
Lost
chamber.
2 boys.
We
They
don't need
same
that.
room.
Uh,
Wait, did we both
Disrespect.
just leave?
quite frankly, he has a wand. He got a wand. What is that? That's a
If one
drumstick.
boy leaves, it's one thing.
Two boys. It just feels like they're in cahoots.
I was trying to be sneaky, and then Dad got up and like ran
Sneaky.
away too.
There's nothing sneaky about it. What do he have? Oh, headphones.
I was
So,
trying to be
yeah,
sneaky,
so-
Dad. You ruined my cover. God damn it!
You mean?
I left and you left right away.
You didn't leave too. I had to do something.
You have-
That's a lie.
you set it to 20 reps, and you start going. As you go onward, as you get better at it, you up your speed. But the first 20 are very important because they're so slow. They drill the actual music into your brain. The notes. Once you're done that first 20 repetitions, I swear to God, you'll never forget that riff. Those notes
Hey,
are
Ryan,
in
Are you
your.
sure, Ryan? Are you
Yeah.
fucking
You sure? You
I-
sure?
I'm a different breed. But the point is, they are ingrained in your memory now. So now as you go 10 BPM up and play it again 20 times, or if you want 15, 10, whatever, you'll continue to memorize it while refining your technique. But you never have to worry about getting it wrong now. If you're getting it wrong, it's the physicality of it and not the mental. And that's the important part, right?
Oh
You-
damn, I like that.
My classical teacher used to tell me something about the concept is basically like one step forward, two steps back. If you play something and fuck it up and keep playing, which everyone tells you to do as a performer, which is correct, you're actually teaching yourself that wrong way is the right way, which opens you up subconsciously to fail more. So
That's
this is the
way too
concept behind
real.
drilling this riff slowly into you, and then picking up speed as you go, while never getting the actual notes wrong, just the movements. And then by the time you get up to the target speed, it's very likely that you haven't repeated any BPM. You know what I'm saying? Like gone through the 20 or 10 twice. You just go up straight through it pretty flawlessly. I also go past the target BPM sometimes if I can, because at that point you can really do it.
And practicing stuff above the target speed makes you too powerful.
It really does. But that's the whole point of it, like
Yeah.
break the physical limits of it all. You can do that shit.
Nathan, you have a thing.
I got things. The thing is that you guys covered, like Ryan covered a lot of things I was gonna say, because about like the physicality, about like the technique of it
Mhm.
all. Because when you got one of these in your hands, like I have demonstrations. It's way harder because I'm moving my fucking whole arms and doing all this stuff and like flopping it like that. So you got to think about what your wrist is doing and also what your fingies are doing, because balance points and all that kind of nonsense. So I also realized that like you have to know what you got to know the motion so you can actually play what you want to play. Like you have to know what, like, it's hard to explain. It's hard to fucking really make it concise, but it's kind of falls back to what Ryan, like you have to sit there and torture yourself and really like.
But
get
that is the
muscle
point. It's
memory.
hard to explain. You have to figure it out with your.
Yeah, like
Can't,
one of my aha moments or whatever that's what we're calling it is like just like I was like forever ago, like when I was like still a baby, like 15. I just sat down one week and just started playing double stroke rolls for like a week straight. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna. I don't know. I'm at like a fucking wall. I'm just gonna sit down and just fucking go and hit the a practice pad for a week straight. And at the end of doing that, I was like, oh fuck, I can now actually play something I could never play before, which was double strokes, because they're annoying to play. And realizing you have to do that to actually get what's in here out. And like that's for me was the biggest thing, is because I got lots of stuff up here I can't play. or like things I want to be able to play. And once you go through all the fucking nonsense of practicing and you gotta realize that the practice is good and essential and all that nonsense. And then you can play the stuff you want to play. But then you actually gotta play it. And one thing I did learn is that playing fast, you have to play fast to be able to play fast, especially with drums. Like you have to like you can't just if you want to play at like a really fast speed, you can't practice under that speed to build the technique, and then play. You can automatically play fast. You have to play fast to get your body used to playing fast, so you can then play fast. That's annoying.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
It's the riff chamber, except in drum form.
I torture myself every day. That's how you get good at drums. You just
The drum riff chamber is hard. I was fooling around with it, and it's like I found when I was doing it with drums, it's like even at the
It's
slow
boring.
speed, you're doing it, and then it's like, oh, but hold on, I wasn't thinking about this aspect. Like for me, it'd be like the dynamics of one hand. I'd be like, oh, but this, oh, but this hand, the ghost notes are too loud now, or the non-ghost notes are too quiet.
that's a different thing. Like being able to listen to both. You got to listen to both your hands and what they're doing at the same time, and like kind of hear if one hand's playing weak or one hand's playing too hard, and you got to like kind of self mix with drums.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
that's even more important when you actually like play like a real, not like practicing on a practice pad, when you're actually playing like the drum kit. Like you're you're hitting really hard with your snare drum hand, but like light with this hand, and then you have to turn that off once you go to an actual fill, because then it's different. So there's all these layers.
I feel like I'll lose it. I won't get all of that either playing on the electric kit compared to the acoustic. I feel like that the acoustic kit will be a big transition if I go back to playing it.
It's hard to explain the difference, but it's just the way it sounds like, because with an electric kit there's a cap on like how, like once you hit so hard it only goes so loud, I
Yeah.
think. But with acoustic kits, like the difference in sound from playing it really soft to really loud is like there's a huge range.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that I see that in the thing.
Ain't
So
that true?
this is, I don't know, this is different.
Drums are
This is
loud,
so
man.
different. And for me as a player, I'm so like, I use I don't know, I guess I'm not like I'm not trained very well. Like I taught myself how to play drums, so most of it's like going off your ear, and this you can't. It's just the way the like acoustic kit sounds is so different. So is that too? When you're so used to playing on an actual, well, the way the electric kit sounds is so different than the acoustic kit. That's it, I think. Also, I guess my last one would be just the left hand good shit. That's what I have written here. You just gotta practice. Just realizing that you have to play everything that you can play with your right hand. You have to be able to lead with your left hand. So
Oh,
that's
jeez.
That sucks.
yeah, it's not fun at all. But it's just it makes it way better, because a lot of the people you listen to that are really good are like starting with their left hand all the time during like a fill. They just don't realize, and certain fills sound differently when you start them with your left hand versus with your right hand. So it's all fun.
Whack.
Nice. You take it all the way to open-handed symmetrical kit.
I wish I could play open-handed. If there's someone, I heard someone say that if you start playing now, they would recommend people playing like open-handed, and I definitely endorse that. Like even if you're right-handed, play with your left hand. Like play open like this. Just do it. It will pay off in the long run, because then you can do cool shit.
I'm gonna try that.
I
It's
can't.
not a bad
And
idea.
fail.
Just the thought of sitting there. The thought of sitting there and doing hats with the left hand and snare with the right just is very upsetting.
But it can turn you into a monster, because like
It
it's
really
just
does.
because I'm so used to, and most people who play drums are so used to hitting your right hand with your right foot with your right hand, and then it's like weird to hit your like, and then right hand with left foot is easier, but then like left hand with left foot is hard, and like left hand with right foot is also hard. So many things. This is why you can't play drums, man. There's too many things. You gotta be an octopus.
Too many
The thing why I
cooks.
can't play drum. I'm fully in control of all of these guys, but like the big these big ones. I can't.
But you also gotta be control these for these. You gotta be able to do this. You gotta be able to flick your bean.
Flick that bean.
That way.
Okay, Connor, do you have any aha moments?
I had the one
Connor-
about the rhythm games.
That's it? Okay, I forgot.
Yeah, that's it.
Shit.
What about you, Quinn? Quinn.
I had nothing prepared, so I'm going last because now I had all this time to try to think of one.
What makes you good, Quinn? What makes you good?
Well, part of the problem is my main instrument is a laptop and not an actual instrument. And I was actually listening to like the first music that I released as myself the other day, and like I had like the horrific flashback that I actually like that was before I would actually like hook up the electric keyboard to the laptop so I could like record the MIDI as me playing. So I'd find like a chord thing and be like do 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 and just record that and then copy paste or like change the velocities and everything. So like that whole first release I did was like just meticulously clicking in notes and then copy pasting it. So like which sucks and takes so long. So like and I've had like other horrific realizations like that where like I looked back at like the project file for that release and I would see things I was doing in the mix and I would be like, holy shit, I was dumb. Why would I do that? Which is like probably a good sign of growth, but like even when I like realized I could like use this because I had this keyboard before I like had Logic on my computer, so I guess at first I didn't even really associate the two. But then like I realized I could just use that as the instrument or interface thing. But even like when I had that moment, I was like, oh god, I'm dumb. Like this could have been making things so much easier, and then just like changing my whole way of life about that. And then another weird thing about the main instrument being the laptop is like at random I'll just realize there's stuff I can do in Logic Pro that changes stuff like either minutely or hugely, and I'll be like, oh shit, I could have been doing this the whole time too. Like there's some weird synth stuff I've been making recently where like a lot of the grooves aren't made out of like different notes, but like automating different things. So I'll have like one sustained note, but then like automate the tremolo effect on it or automate the LFO on it, so then it sounds either like different notes or different rhythms.
That's
But
cool.
it's one note. Or like automate different peaks on the EQ so it highlights different frequencies within the same note. So like the same note played again will sound like a different one. It's very strange. It's either really musical or not very musical. But it's definitely strange. I don't know if that counts as an aha moment, but it's just weird.
Any moment that makes you go,
It's weird.
aha, is an aha moment.
I think it's more like what the moments that made you grow.
Yeah.
More. It sounds more like a retrospective, like, oh yes, I have come far.
Yeah.
I've traveled many miles.
Yeah.
That has me thinking
that's
I would be really afraid to dig out the first Dendron EP's project files and look at what horrors are in that mix.
Yeah.
I think it's sounded. I think that the instruments sounded pretty good.
It sounds not bad. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of
How
I'm like
about-
thinking about how little I knew. I'm impressed with the work of it, but
How about
That's
how
the
about,
thing
how
too.
about Dendron remastered? That's what we gotta do.
That's the
yeah.
thing.
Those songs are
Fine.
fine, and they don't need to be remastered.
Sometimes you'll go back and you'll be like, oh god, this part was cringy as hell. But then you'll find one part that you're like, oh shit, I forgot about this. How did I come up with that even though I had like the brain of a toddler? That was actually a really good moment.
That is an unbelievable amount of Black and the Cursed Sun to me. Every time I listen to it,
Yeah.
is that exact feeling.
I think the riffs hold up, man.
There's some bits
I've
that
heard
hold
them
up.
recently.
They do, yeah.
Another riff.
But there's some cheese on that album, man. There's some fucking cheese.
It's like there's some really good bits. I agree, but then there's just like another like 50% of the EP is just guitar solos.
Yeah. But
There's multiple songs where halfway through we're like, well, let's just play this riff for the other half.
So you know what I didn't
and do a
remember?
solo.
I didn't remember song 4 being like 9 minutes, and I also didn't remember 4 of those minutes being a solo by me.
Yeah, it's a lot of solo. To be fair, that one has I added the interlude at the end that pads the length, but it is
That's
still
true.
a lot of solo.
But
And
that
it has that long, like, repetitive melody at the end.
stuff like that, like stuff like having like a 4-minute solo in a 9-minute song, and then like me realizing that like I physically clicked in every note on a half-hour EP is like, how the fuck did I have the patience for that back then?
That's the thing too. I can't believe I could ever remember 4 minutes of fucking.
Yeah, my secret was to get Ryan to write the solos.
Connor doesn't solo.
So the thing I do know though is how many times to play the riff while Ryan does the solo.
I don't know that at all.
Oh, it's just a trance song. Everybody get ready to count.
That was the trance song warm up.
Here's a minute.
Anybody got anything else?
In my head? Tapping. I started doing tapping a lot because the secret to tapping is that it is maximum. It's the best way to have groove and a lead. Like John Brown and Monuments and those boys have their way of doing it, where they bip and bop and slide around. Marford Periphery is all over the place. But I don't know. I really like tapping as a way to incorporate groove with melody.
So
You know what I'm saying?
like when you mix it in with a strummed thing, or like just a purely tapping part.
Just purely tapping.
Just tapping.
Interesting. I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Polaris is a really good example. A lot of their riffs are kind of what I'm talking about, you know?
Mhm.
Tapping on the low strings is game changing. Love it.
You lost me when you said groove and melody. I feel like you'd have groove and melody. That doesn't mean you don't have to tap to have both of those.
As a single boy,
Okay.
I see what you're
got you.
saying. There's a lot of
think
notes going on, and then the whatever you're barring or whatever, that's happening a lot. That's where your groove is
Well,
coming from, as opposed to
okay,
down
so-
here where a lot of your melody is coming from.
I
So
think
it's
we
like
have different.
there's a lot of people. So listen, you have your rhythm guitar,
Yes.
right, and that's playing whatever it's playing.
Yes.
There's a lot of people who'll have a groovy riff over that. And there's a lot of people who will have like an almost solo, like a lead bit, a repeating melody or something over that. I feel like tapping is the best way to go about it because you can have both senses in there on top of the rhythm guitar.
The other thing that's nice with tapping is that you get that, and you can be playing constant like 8th or 16th notes, and you still get that groove popping out of it
Mm.
instead of just being
Yeah, that's what I
sort of
kind of
flat.
thought he was getting at.
A lot you can do with it.
I got what you're saying now.
Your hands are up to the task.
So many fingers. How many fingers can you tap with? You do all the fingers?
Have you done a pinky tap?
Well, I have done it. It's so uncomfortable. I've also. This is the thing I've been doing. I've been, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier about heavy heart periphery with the thumb pick and harbor picking and shit. Before putting on the thumb pick, I decided, well, why don't I just use my pinky? Like every so often, I'll try to use my finger pick with all 5 of these, and it's very odd. The pinky just doesn't. The right pinky, especially. I mean, you think about how hard it was to get any amount of dexterity in your left pinky growing up when we were first playing.
I remember.
All this bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Now do it in your right hand.
It's the most useless finger.
It's
I'd say
hard,
that.
man. What?
It's the most useless finger.
It is the most useless finger. I still don't use it a whole lot.
See, with drumming, the pinky's your secret weapon. Your pinky is fucking it's doing shit.
You get the bounce.
A lot of people do this when they're playing drums. They lift the pinky up, but that's not how you do it. You gotta keep the pinky on.
When in doubt, pinky on.
You gotta be able to do this. Just pinky.
That's what I always say.
I'm thinking about it now. I don't know if I ever tap with my index finger either.
I don't like it.
Because if I'm holding a pick, I'd use my middle finger. But then even without a pick, I think I would just keep using my middle finger.
I tap with these two fingers,
Yeah.
and then.
You what use
The middle two.
Yeah. Hold on, I have a pick. I have a pick here.
Because if you can be holding a pick then, and you can just like. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never thought of that.
I got what you're saying. Yeah, that
I
makes
was
sense.
using
A lot of
index.
guitarists will put it in their mouth and then have that quick grab for it. Not happening. Just make this guy real strong.
Yeah, I do the tapping part like that, where you're just like very deliberately just like.
Uh-oh.
That's weird.
Yeah, there you go.
I think. Yeah. This is the most useless finger in drumming. I can tell you what. It's this one here.
The ring
Doesn't do
finger.
shit. Don't do shit.
I think this is the most useless finger anyway. Does anyone else
Ring
have
finger cannot separate from
trouble
pinky.
controlling this finger?
I
Every
can.
other finger is fine. These fingers give me trouble.
Oh yeah, I do see what you mean. Actually.
West Side.
Wait, I want to see how long we can talk about fingers. What about this finger?
You call them fingers.
This one's very
Fingers
weird.
are fake.
Oh, no.
If you're playing piano, all the fingers are important.
Ooh.
Fucking love
True.
it, dude. You can hit 10 notes on a piano. Piano is
I bet
just,
it's
it's so beautiful. Just
bet it's
laid
not
out
bringing
right
it
I
there.
do agree with that.
It's literally A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then just it goes back to normal. Like,
Yeah.
don't even think about the sharps. They're the black ones. Just don't ignore those for now. This is just
What about the triple
playing
sharp?
C and A minor, and that's all you need.
I think Orion's face changed when I said triple sharp.
Disgusting. It's useless. Here's an aha moment. Fuck the triple sharp.
Oh, playing
I'm
if
not
you play the
doing that right
piano
now.
in the A triple sharp scale, then it's all white notes.
Good. I'll just play the fucking C scale.
Or the C triple flat minor.
Oh my god, I don't like it.
Awful.
It's a myth.
Awful. It's like Bigfoot.
Pointless.
I think I
Anybody
still
have
stand by.
anything else to say?
Oh yeah, I do. It's very important. It's that I stand by the idea that we should regularly use up to 6 sharps or 6 flats, the sextuple sharp or sextuple flat, because then
Tell
you
you
can write
what.
a song where every note is C with a varying amount of sharps and flats.
If there's ever like a Dendron tab book,
Oh,
if there's a Dendron tab book, it's every note is C.
That's not nice for people. That's not nice.
That would
I
be
mean,
hilarious.
It sounds like nonsense to me, but I don't fully grasp why it's nonsense.
it is
Like,
nonsense.
I believe there's a thing called a double sharp, and the double sharp is already pretty useless.
Double sharp is very, very, very rarely important.
Doesn't need
Very,
to be there.
Very rarely.
Stickler dummies. It's so fucking foolish to even talk about this. I hate it. I hate it. I wish I could unlearn it. I wish I didn't know. I was happy back then.
You go like spotless mind yourself to go to life when you forgot about triple sharp.
Yeah, I really. That'd be nice.
Triple sharp.
I don't want to know anymore. I don't want to know about sextuple C.
Sequin couple carb.
Don't want it.
Yep.
Bad moments here.
Good to call it for the evening.
Look out
I
for
think that's what I was gonna say. It's 9/11, the perfect time to call it.
We talked about our Aha, Exodia, the Forbidden Excaliburs. We talked about fingers. We talked about Mario.
And
That's a good stream.
I'm
What time
serious.
is it?
If you've made it this far in the stream and you play any of them, like DJ Max, Osu, I've been playing Eterna, please send me a message.
Also send him a message. What's your favorite finger? The thumb? This one?
Yeah, what's the favorite and
Not a
least
finger,
favorite?
you nerd.
That's my least favorite finger.
What's
What
the
is it? I
most
can't even
What's the
raise
most
it.
frog finger?
Who could
It's
raise
ring.
just this finger?
Actually,
Like, farther?
finger
That's what I was
implies
saying
an
earlier.
opinion.
These fingers give me difficulty.
Like, I can raise the
Every
pinky.
other finger is self-sufficient. These fingers suck.
So
It's just this
fancy.
one. Like, look, this one
No,
goes
you
up.
can't. You actually
That one
can't.
goes
It's so hard.
This one goes up.
These are the
That
video.
one doesn't go up. Look at that.
These are the gamer fingers.
Speaking of which, Mary Odyssey. Oh my goodness! Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Jeez.
Wow.
You can jump off the hat so many times. You jump off the wall.
Wait, or anybody. When did Mary Odyssey come out?
2017.
That game's 4 years old this year.
Hold on, let me.
Dan, when you're releasing your review for this game, or you
I'm already even thinking about it.
He's
We're gonna
typing
be
for me right now. Look at him.
We do another dad talks, but it's Mario Odyssey review.
4
Yeah,
years, right on time.
We need to have Dad on one of your videos.
Oh man, it is. It's 2017.
I don't even-
Meanwhile, EB Games gave it a 3.8 out of 5. I don't know if that's like a How would you? That's fine.
I think
that's
that's
fine.
I think
They do
that's
nothing. They sell toys.
user review.
10 of 10. So entertaining.
Hey,
Everywhere
Marcus
you
is
look,
in the
there's a
chat.
moon. You think there's a moon? It's over there. Just go find it. It's there. There's 1,000.
I really like a new Mario game. There's probably not much chance of me playing that Bowser's Fury thing. At least no time
Cool
soon.
though. Bowser's Fury is
Oh,
pretty
that
cool
is.
though.
I've heard it's really cool. It would be nice to play it, but
No way.
I
it's
heard
not in the
Quinn say
cards
it's
anytime
pretty
soon.
cool.
I'm certainly not buying it.
Bowser's Fury, it's very clearly like a Mario experiment, and I feel like in their heads they're like, if this goes well, the next Mario game is gonna be a lot like this.
I think the next Mario game is going to be a lot like this.
Was Mario Tennis also a Mario experiment? I want-
Maybe. All the Mario sports games are a series of experiments.
Mario versus
Wait, are you talking about Mario versus Sonic at the Olympic Games? My favorite game.
Now that's experimental.
That was like Beijing, like 2008. Like,
Yeah.
That game is
Ooh.
Prague.
I haven't played it. I haven't played that game.
it was ahead of its time. Okay, this is the problem. It didn't come out in the right generation.
Wario's an Olympian. Wario can be an Olympian. You can play a guitar. You can play an instrument.
If you like detach yourself from reality, from like the familiarity of Wario for a second, and you just actually look at him,
What's the mean?
You lost me after detached yourself from reality, and then you mentioned
I'm
Wario.
just saying, like if you really like look at him and you like really become aware of his appearance, like it's a sight to behold.
Marcus says Mario and Sonic was sick, which I think no one's disagreeing with. I think Quinn nailed it. He said it's progressive gaming.
He's got such a big fat butt chin. Like
But he kind of like resembles Danny DeVito right now. That's what I'm getting
He-
from.
oh, he's Danny DeVito Mario.
Would you like an egg in these trying times?
Eh.
The clock's ticking on Danny DeVito playing Wario in a movie. That's all I'm saying.
That's Rock Connor. That's a fucking good casting. You cast him now.
Somebody call
Like
Hollywood.
there as Luigi.
I'd love the Hollywood like big zigzag mustache coming off Danny DeVito.
Because Frank from Always Sunny is already pretty much Wario.
Hey, hold on. This is perfect because they already had him as Eggman. Jim Carrey can be Waluigi.
I never watched that movie. Do you guys
Jim
remember how
Carrey
Sonic
make a
looked in the
great-
trailer though?
Oh, that was so
Sonic-
good.
I wish they'd kept old Sonic, but the movie still slaps.
Yeah, we lost something special when they changed him.
It was haunting.
He looked like a yes, exactly.
His eyes were so far apart, and his hands weren't gloves. They were just more fur, just white fur instead.
He looked like he was
Oh.
put in a machine to combine a human with a hedgehog, but in a bad way. Like, gone horribly wrong.
What's the good way?
The way it looked after, I think. I don't know.
Normal
Wasn't it-
Sonic.
Did he have like the regular like these shaped eyes?
He just had normal like people.
Beady little eyes.
Yeah,
Creepy.
and like very prominent like human teeth, like very like.
Oh, I remember this.
And I think what also was special about that first trailer is like when he first appears, he's like he sees James Marsden and they're both startled. But then as like a third layer of like meaning to that scene is that you see Sonic and you're also startled. So it's like three people all equally afraid of what they're seeing.
And he talks like he talks normal, like there's nothing weird going on. You know? Like you see this eldritch abomination in front of you, and it's just like, hey, how's it going? Chili dogs.
Yeah, chili dogs. I've never had a chili dog.
The weekenders always made me want to eat chili fries, but then I had chili fries and they're not good. Fuck chili fries, man.
Oh, the weekenders make me want to go to a pizza place that changes every single day. Like, what kind of budget can keep up with that?
What kind of budget did they have?
Kind of punch it.
And is this a franchise?
Wait, what is it? One
Guys, look them up.
One small step for man.
step for man,
One
one
large
large
pizza for you.
for you. Tino Donatini. Let's do it.
Hit
Yeah,
pizza.
I wanna end on something though. Do you guys remember in Malcolm in the Middle how Hal fucks? Do you remember this?
Uh,
I didn't watch Malcolm in the
No,
Middle.
and that's
You know,
over-
he can't remember any of that. He has a
Fuck,
short-term
no.
memory loss.
You're not talking about Breaking Bad?
Nah, Hal fucks, man. I'm telling you. There's a fucking scene where is it Lois?
Yeah.
Like she describes how she can't walk in the morning. Fucking it happened. And this didn't fucking happen. He fucks.
Nathan, you said this is what you wanted to end on, right?
This is Dendron signing off. Shit.
Oh wait, no, she said she couldn't think straight. There we go. Not that she couldn't walk. She couldn't think straight.
Oh, wow.
Cognitive function. That's rough.
Signing off.
yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Okay, he's really gone. Alright.